And I thought the Chargers had a good draft. There were some ups, there were some downs. A little bit surprised when they went receiver. They went with Quentin Johnston just because I felt they had that guy already on the team. But good talent, could be the best receiver in the draft. So I'm not going to complain about that. I like some of the pickups, like the kid from USC to get him at 54, to get Henley in the third round at 85. Completely have no idea why they're drafting Darius Davis in the fourth round. That's like one of those you got to be kidding me moves. But they also got McFadden, an offensive lineman, which they needed in round 5. So again, overall, good draft. They had a couple of questions, but yeah, I think it was okay.
Yeah, my top need for them going into the draft in the R-Lads guide was wide receiver. And this was the Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, they were the most expensive wide receiver duo in the league last year. And they missed a combined 11 games. They battled injuries all year. I feel like every single season we're talking about injuries with these two guys. So you just have to imagine that Johnson, yes, it was a pick somewhat for 2023, but I got to think one, maybe even both these guys are not in the picture next year. And I mean that. This might be the last time we see both these guys in the Chargers uniform. So, this team was also really bad after the catch. One of the worst in the league. And one of Johnson's greatest traits, even though his body type does not suggest it, is what he does after the catch. Okay. He averaged 8.7 yards after the catch per reception last year. And I think the Chargers number was like less than half that last year. So it just kind of adds an element to the offense that they did not have. It also provides long-term security should Mike Williams and Keenan Allen be sent elsewhere. Agree with you on the Darius Davis pick was just kind of a little too soon for a returner only. He's not going to be a receiver. And, they love DeAndre Carter and what he brought to the team. But again, what did he do to move the needle? Well, you get a couple of highlight reel runs here and there. I just don't think he was that important. So to warrant a 4th round pick on that, just didn't see it. But like you said, I agree with you. They made up for it by drafting McFadden in the 5th round. I had a 2nd, 3rd round grade on him. And just a perfect situation for what they have. I don't think they quite know what they're going to do on that offensive line.
Yeah.
With Salyer. I think they want him somewhere in the starting lineup. Could be right tackle. If they don't want Pipkins there, they could put him at guard. If they want to keep Pipkins in the starting lineup. McFadden now comes into that role that Salyer was last year. Inside out versatility.
That's good, yeah.
If someone goes down, Slater again, McFadden, he can play left tackle. He's not big. He's 6'2", but he's 34-inch arms, and he played tackle in college. So I love that pick getting it in the 5th round. Love Tuipulotu. He's only 20 years old. Let's not forget that. He was one of the most productive defensive linemen in the country last year. The one thing I don't think he solves the issues that they have up front. This team has just been getting run all over for years now. And he's a backup D end. They talk about inside out versatility. He's 265 pounds. He's not playing inside. And if he is, it's going to be pass rush only. So I still kind of question whether or not this team even cares about stopping the run.
Why does our lads have him as an outside linebacker?
Who, Tuipulotu?
Yeah.
Well, we have him as an edge defender. Okay. That's where he'll be. He'll be backing up Mack and Bosa in that defense. I mean, he played inside out at USC. I actually think he played a little bit heavier at USC than where he was listed weight-wise at the combine. But he's a guy that is going to have to play on the outside, no question.
But he'll be on the edge more. He's not going to stand up, is he?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, I think they're going to what they do in San Diego, in Los Angeles with their DNs, with their edge defenders, is they'll shift guys, kind of head up over the tackle, or they'll send them outside. And I think he's going to be someone that could do either one of those roles. But going inside the tackle, I don't see it.
Well, and look, we knew they needed that. So that's really, like you were saying, that's what they got there. But we also thought that they were going to go after a run stuffer. So the only guy that they added on the defensive line was Scott Matlock.
Yeah.
What's he going to bring?
And, fun player. I mean, fun player, try-hard guy, not overly big, not overly fast. But, again, I feel like the Chargers, no matter who's calling the shots there, I mean, they have the same front office, but it's just always the same profile along the defensive tackle. The best pick that they've made in recent years was the kid last year, Abanya, who got hurt, so he didn't play a ton. So hopefully he comes back and fills that run-stuffing role a bit better. But, if you're going to ask me what's the Chargers' biggest issue going to be right now, I'm going to tell you it's the same thing. They're just going to, teams are going to run all over, just left and right.
Well, I mean, the biggest acquisition was Kendricks, though, because that's going to help the run defense at linebacker, because Murray's awful as a run stuffer.
I think Henley was drafted to take over Murray's spot next year. Henley's still a little raw, but he's an elite athlete, former wide receiver, blew up in 2023. And Murray, this will probably be, I believe they declined his fifth-year option. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. So this will probably be his last year there, and Henley takes over that spot next year. Kendricks, how much does he have left in the tank? Yep. He's still a good player. There's no question. But, there's just a lot of question marks I have up front on this team, and I still have them.
Yeah, they didn't solve that on the defensive line at least, and they really didn't do that either. We thought that they were going to add at least one DB. None.
You're right. None.
We thought
they did take your boy though, Max Duggan.
They did in the 7th round. On our horse racing show, the trainer that put me on the spot. Who did I thought could have been Mr. Irrelevant? And I said Max Duggan. I came close.
You're close.
So, but hey, good for him. So he got
good for him. Absolutely. Happy for him. Absolutely. Good spot for him too.
Yeah. Otherwise, the only other spot that they did not improve upon, and once again, this is an issue. No more running backs in the room. And you know what? Isaiah Spiller, I didn't like him. I thought all he was to me was a low end 2 to a 3, but he has to step up where they picked him to be that guy, or else they just don't seem to care, and they just want Austin Eckler. It's just I just don't think they're handling that spot very well.
Yeah, I mean, he will be there. He's not going anywhere. No. But they've tried so many times in the draft. And it's almost like they threw up the white flag and they said, we give up. We can't figure this out.
It's maybe I don't know. They should trade for someone, because there's enough really good running backs out there. But Spiller maybe be that guy. And again, what I'm saying is, in case you haven't heard, it's that I believe Eckler is at his best when he has someone like Melvin Gordon with him in the backfield.
Absolutely, 100%.
And
I agree.
They don't have that. All right,
go get Zeke.
Yeah, sure. By the way, there were some really good late round running backs too that we talked about. They didn't want to go down that route. Who did they? Yeah, matter of fact, well, they picked McFadden, but they could have easily picked one of those really good running backs over Darius Davis.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they could have had a very good running back over Darius Davis. They could have taken Eric Gray from Oklahoma there. That would have been a good spot for him.
Yes, the kid from Pittsburgh.
I wonder sometimes, do some of these teams not do it because of what they did last year? Kind of admitting a fault, right? That, we just took Spiller last year. We can't take another one, We took Larry Roundtree the year before. We took Joshua Kelly the year before. At some point, you're kind of admitting you made a mistake. I wonder if there's some ego involved in that decision.
Could be. Again, unless Spiller does end up making the move and learning as a sophomore that he can be the guy.